Even Karen doesn't know this one. I actually applied to a job, an internship at Deloitte when I was 17 or 18. Instead of going to university, I wanted to pursue that. Obviously, Deloitte, one of the biggest accountancy firms in probably the world. So one of my ice hockey teammates, his dad was very high up in Deloitte and tried to get me through the process. Didn't do very well. But yeah, it's always been something that's interested me. I've always been good at maths. My whole family's quite good at maths, apart from my little sister who dropped it at A-level. It's always been something that's interested me. I'm not afraid of numbers. I think most people look at bookkeeping, you sit there and look at numbers all day, and I'm like, yeah, it's quite fun. Manchester Storm have an accountant that sponsor us, and I reached out after doing my AAT level 2, and he put me in touch with Karen, and the rest, as they say, is history. Ice hockey became part of my life when I think I was 9 or 10. Basically, my parents didn't want to deal with my hyperactivity at home, so they made me play every sport they could possibly imagine. Playing tennis, rugby, football, ice hockey, roller hockey, field hockey, and anything you can imagine I've probably tried my hand at. At the age of about 15 or 16, I had the decision to make between continuing with football or continuing with ice hockey. For some reason, I chose ice hockey. And then, yeah, as I kind of progressed with that, after a lot of conversations with my parents, kind of said if I'm going to pursue ice hockey as a career, I'm going to try and play at the highest level I can. And after 5 very fun years in Glasgow, meeting some of my best friends and meeting some really nice people up there, I made the decision to come and play for Manchester Storm. Ice hockey is probably more physically demanding. Bookkeeping is probably more mentally demanding. Honestly, it depends on a week-by-week basis. Obviously, everyone here understands that I play professionally and kind of try and accommodate that as best we can. And there are some days where I'm extremely tired because we've got back from Scotland at 4 a.m. the night before, and we have a great team here, and everyone's willing to help each other. If someone's struggling or someone doesn't quite understand something, we're willing to help each other out. And I think in that aspect, it's very similar to ice hockey. Obviously, we're a team. We're trying to win as many games as possible, and as a team here, we're trying to do payroll as best we can, or our VAT returns as the best we can. So there's quite a lot of similarities in the two workplaces. But yeah, I handle it better some weeks than others. Usually I'm hobbling in with some kind of injury or knock or something along those lines from ice hockey, and Aisha likes to take the mickey out of me. It's all good natured, everyone gets on, and it's actually really enjoyable to come into work and kind of have a different change of pace. Ice hockey is just go, 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 go. Whereas bookkeeping, you have the opportunity to kind of slow down and make sure that your work is accurate, you've got it right. And if you're not sure, ask someone and they'll be able to help you get it right. Weirdly for me, it's the thing I find most enjoyable is when there's something has gone wrong, whether that's us or the accountant or the client, and finding that mistake and putting it right. It sounds really sad, but it is so satisfying. It's like, yes, I finally did it. I think that's probably the most enjoyable part of the actual job for me. But coming to the office every day, no matter who's in, obviously we all work different days. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a positive atmosphere and light-hearted, and that's really enjoyable as well. One of my best friends who I've played with for the last 6 years chose to end his career at a time where he was probably still good enough to carry on playing, which is quite rare in professional sports. Usually we're forced out of our careers through injury, or we're just not good enough, or we're a step behind. So to be able to kind of go on that journey with him and someone I care very deeply for, and kind of make his last few weeks playing as enjoyable as possible. And he's now our coach, so I've got to be careful not to say too much. In ice hockey, we say we go to war. Game starts, it's a physical sport, we're going to war together. And to use that kind of saying, to go to war with someone for 6 years and be a part of the end of their career, that was a really cool moment to be a part of. I think the biggest misconception about bookkeeping is that a lot of the work we do, people think accountants do it. There's a lot that you know, when I started here, there was a lot where I was kind of like, oh, this is bookkeeping, not accountancy. That's interesting. And over the year working here, it's almost, you know, accountants rely on us they rely on bookkeepers to be accurate, be punctual with publishing documents or VAT returns or whatever it may be, for them to be able to do their side of things. And I found not to talk down accountants, because obviously they have their role to play and they're obviously very good at what they do. But I found that there's a lot more that we do that I didn't expect. And now I tell people that we do what you think accountants do, which isn't quite accurate, but it kind of nicely sums it up.